Good afternoon, guys. Today our topic is uh, Circuit and Network Theory Lab. And in this virtual platform, this is virtual lab made by IITs of India, of our country. And you can see if you write down the virtual lab or vlab.co.in, then you can get these things. This is virtual lab. You can see Ministry of Education. And through this platform we can perform so many labs. So just click on, first I'm going to the main page. This is virtual lab, www.vlab.co.in. okay, here you can get, this is virtual lab, and here this is available in electronics and communication segment. Just click over there. Whenever you click, then you can get this type of window. Okay, and guys, with me, please perform all. I am sharing, multiple participants can share simultaneously this option. Please share your screen. If you don't perform with this, then you can't understand. Please open one by one and show, then I will go. And one more thing, electrical branch student, please write down E after your name and or participation ID, and EC, please write down EC. Yes, someone written as Miss Khushbu Kumari, EC 06. Yes, this Rohit Kumar, EC 02. Yes, just like this. EC 07. Otherwise, we can't get any attendance. Please join. I am waiting for a few minutes so that you all can join. Just open it, and then I will show you how to do this. This is analog signal and network measurement lab.
सर ये हम लोग का इलेक्ट्रिकल वाले लोग के लिए भी है क्या सर?
हाँ जी, इलेक्ट्रिकल।
तो हम लोग का तो सर लैब अभी हो रहा है सर, कंट्रोल सिस्टम का दूसरे सर ले रहे हैं।
ओह, ओके ओके, then
आप लिंक शेयर किए ना अभी, इसलिए बोले।
okay, then I will take you for next day. So today only EC can join.
तो सर एक बार मैसेज कर दीजिए ना ग्रुप में, बहुत जने से मतलब।
Okay. Guys, another declaration. I am sharing a feedback from VLab IIT Bombay. Okay, and after completion of this experiment, you can submit it. Okay. And now I think we should start. Now it is analog signal lab list of this experiment. You can write down here. Here you can see the verification of Norton theorem, verification of Thevenin theorem, verification of intelligence theorem, verification of superposition theorem. So we can choose this superposition theorem. Just click over there. You can see this is your all about your lab copy. Okay, and this is not coming clearly due to the network, but after few seconds it will clear. Okay, so first I am going to the objective. Objective is to verify the superposition theorem. You all know the what is the superposition theorem, but now we should remember this. If a number of voltage, so that we can go for the statement. If a number of voltage or current source are acting simultaneously in a linear network, look, if a number of voltage or the current sources, number of current source or current sources, because it may be one or two, okay, more than two, more than one or more than two. So sources are acting simultaneously in a linear network. Now, one question is always asked to the student, that what is a linear network? Guys, linear network means their linear elements are available. Look, what are the linear element? Linear element generally this resistance, because it is following the linear graph. Linear graph means it is the ohmic graph. If I put some VI characteristics of this resistance, then we can find that is the graph is the linear straight line. But if I put some graph of the capacitor or inductor, it will not show the linearity. Sometimes it's parabolic, other are decaying. Okay, so it is not the then it will not applicable this theorem. So this theorem is only applicable for this resistance. Okay, and the resultant current, look, the resultant current in any branch is the algebraic sum of the current. Okay, algebraic sum of the current. Now something algebraic sum is it is detected, and now that would be produced in it when each source acts along and replacing all other independent source by their internal resistance. So if this type of circuit is available, then you can find there are two voltage sources are available. Okay, and if these two voltage sources are acting simultaneously, then what happens? Then we can find some resultant current. Say in this branch, we can get some resultant current, because some current is coming for this V1 source, some current is coming for this V2 source. So two simultaneous current is coming. So we can find out what is the resultant current. So how could I find out this resultant current? Then as per the superposition theorem, it is told we have to calculate one by one branch current due to one by one individual sources. It may be voltage sources, it may be current sources. So here is the two voltage sources. First one is V1 and second one is V2. But whenever we can going for the resultant current, we have to delete, or we have to suppress any of one this of this voltage source, and keeping the internal resistance. Look, if it has some internal resistance, then you have to put over here, just like this picture. In this picture you can find that V2 source is not there, so we are calculating individual real current for the individual voltage source. Now here only V1 is available. So due to this V1 is available, we can find and all branch current. Yes, this is something I1, I1, I2 dash, I3 dash, and after then we have to calculate it. Then after then we have to calculate the current due to the V2 sources. Now you can see I1 double dash, I2 double dash, and I3 double dash. At that moment you have to remove the other sources. Look, here it is sources when each source acts alone and replacing all other independent sources. So this source this source working in alone and replacing other source. But if this is a current source, then you have to open. If this is a voltage source, then you have to sort. But if there is the internal resistance in case of voltage source, then you have to put it, you have to keep it. Okay, so then we can find these two individual current. Then what is the resultant current? We have to sum. Then we can get the ultimate resultant current. This is the description and statement of the superposition theorem. Now we have to find out in this platform. Here is only the theory. You have to copy this theory, and if this is a virtual mode, then you have to put the virtual lab copy in virtual mode. Otherwise, you have to write down in your own copy. But this is your theory, this is your explanation, and now we can perform it in simulator. Look, just click over this simulator, we can find this type of experiment setup. Now click here to perform the experiment. Now you can get this experiment. Here the procedure is given. So procedure is given, you have to just study it. No need to write down it in your lab copy or your whenever you online mode. No need to copy. So just what you have to do, you have to perform this experiment over here. It is also available in your mobile, smart mobile. Then you can take, you have to perform this. Then you can get this type of table. You have to keep this table, and circuit diagram is available over here. You have to take this, you also take the table also. So three things you have to apply. First one, you have to go for the theory. Then you can get this theory page, you have to write down there. Then you can get this verification of superposition. This is the kit. Actually it is just like your kit, you can find it. It's just the same experience whatever in physical mode you can get here also. Here you have to keep this circuit, and this table is vital. And after last of the experiment, you have to put some conclusion. After performing this, what is the conclusion? You have to write down. It is your own task in your own mind. Don't copy from others. Okay, so first we are going to this procedure. Look, there is a case 1, case 2, case 3. Okay, so set all the resistance R1, R2, R3 and choose any arbitrary values of the V1 and V2. You can take any values of V1 and V2. Maybe here is given 220 volt DC, here is given 110 volt DC. You can change it. We also change it for the different of experiment. Now for the case 1, uh, in presence of both sources. In case 1, you can find this is the ammeter, so you can find the current flowing each branches. You can, and first of all you have to fix your resistance. You can't change after starting of this performance. You can't change this resistance. If you change this resistance, then your result will be coming and wrong, and the verification will not perfect. You have to choose once. Either you have to we can perform it so many way. First of all, we can perform 3 times by this changing of this voltage source, or we can perform 3 or 5 times for changing this resistance set. But we don't go for the resistance changing, because then it will not clear to all of you. Resistance should be same, and we can change the voltage source, value of this voltage source. Okay, and also once we can change also resistance. And now first, in presence of both sources, Select the S1 and S2. Here is you can get the S1 and S2 to the power and simulate the program. Observe the result from S1 tab. Whenever you can put, you can get this is the result coming in this three branch. Okay, in this three branch, this is A1. What is A1? A1 is giving this resistance. This resistance is the 200 ohm, and A2 is carrying the current of the current to the 300 ohm, and this is the A3 ampere ammeter, and it is carrying the current of 500 ohm. Now, in presence of V1, this second case. In this case, you can get only V1 is acting. So you have to put this V1 and you have to discard this V2 means S2, but you have to short it. Okay. So here apply S1 to the power mode and S2 to the short mode. So then S2 will be removed. So we can find only current due to this V1 sources, that is 220 volt source DC. Then we can find the current flowing through each branch, and then next apply switch 1 to the short and S2 to the power S2 to the power. In this case, you can find S1 is just short and S2 is the power mode. Then we can find the current uh, through the all branches due to the only S2 sources. This S2 sources is the 110 volt. Okay, then we can find the result. Now if we go for the verification, then we can find the current due to the S1 alone, current due to the S2 alone is the mathematical sum of flowing in current whenever both S1 and S2 is available. Okay, this is the main thing. Now we can verify. First we going for the S1 and S2 both. Look, this is power 1 and this is also power. Okay, so we don't change this resistance. Now we just simulate. Once we simulate, we can get this is 0.3902 ampere. We can get minus 10645 ampere. We can get in this is 28387 ampere. Now we can see, look, here is minus is showing because current is given negative, others opposite direction. Actually we are taking either each direction. So we are taking each direction means this is the clockwise direction, it is the clockwise direction, it is also a clockwise direction, it is also clockwise direction, but current is flowing in this branch the opposite of our assumed direction. That's why it is showing some minus sign. Okay, and this is shown, you can see. And now in the case 2, in case 2 they told that the H1 should be power and H2 should be short. So just short it means there is no voltage source. So we can simulate it. Whenever we can simulate it, we can get some current flowing through these branches. You can see some current is flowing. Yes, this current is flowing, ammeter is flowing. This is also showing some negative current because current is flowing opposite direction as we assume. And here is also current is flowing. This source is available, this is source is short. Now we can going for the case 3. In this case 3, you have to put some power, you have to put some short. Now you can see there is another result. Now we can simulate. Whenever we simulate, you can see here is not negative is there because we are assuming in this direction, so current is flowing in this direction, always in this direction, but here it is going some minus because our direction is changed. Okay, so it is showing next. Now fill the data in the table. Whenever you can fill the data, The observation table is updated. Change the resistance and voltage source or value to take the another table. Okay. So you can find here is in presence of V1 and V2, both V1 and V2. So one by one we can examine. Look, this is I1. I1 for this is the A1 ammeter and this is the 2 ohm resistance. So when both of the voltage source are available, you can find the current is at the I1 ampere meter, that is 0.39032 ampere. Okay. And when only V1 is available, then we can get only 0.5677, and when only V2 is available, then it is minus 17742 ampere. So if I sum this current, this I1 dash current and this I1 current, then we can get this summation. Now we can examine by this calculator. You can see a calculator is coming.
Today we will discuss about the principle of
Guys, you can see this calculator.
principle of
Yes, in this calculator, you can see these things. Okay, I am taking here also.
what this particular differential protection is signifying. Differential protection is actually is based on the fact so today we will discuss about the principle of the differential protection. So differential protection
You can see this is the total. So I have to calculate this I1 and this I1 so that we can get this I1. Okay, so this is I1. So 0. This is 5656774, and this is plus, and we should take some.
we have to differentiate these two currents. So thus by comparing the two
This is minus. So this is plus and this is the minus. Minus 0.17742. Okay, you can see this is coming. So summation is coming 39032. It is also coming 39032. Okay, so verification of this is verification of this superposition is perfect, or it is done. Now we can verify for this I2. I2 value is showing when both V1 and V2 are working, that is minus 10 minus 0.10645. So we have to find out, yes, is that minus? So when V1 is only applicable, then minus 0.35484, and this is only V2 is available, then it is 0.24839. So we should just summation it, then we should get this, then the verification of the superposition will be over. Okay, this is minus 0.35484. Look, minus 0 point 0 point what is this? 0.35 0.35484, and this is also plus. So plus 0.24839. Just make it. Yes, it is coming minus 0.10645. Look, here is also I2 is resultant current is minus 0.10645. Okay, so this is also verified. Now in case of I3,
Supposed to be
look, I3, when both V1 and V2 is working, then this is, it is coming, this is coming. But when only V1 is applicable, then this and this just sum. So 0.21290
in this particular portion.
plus
This one
0 point this one
ground
0.70968.
so suppose this is
So this is coming 0.283868. So it is coming 0.283868. It is after truncation, it is coming 7. So it is 7. So you can see whenever this theorem is, this is this is this is superposition theorem is verified. Okay, because both V1 and V2 is available, then the resultant current is coming when only one source is working alone. This current, summation of this current. So this is verified. Now we are going for the another experiment setup. In this case, you can find 5 times. Okay. Now we can change this resistance, this voltage. Say I am just giving, this is 200 volt and this is 100 volt. Okay.
So fault may be occurred.
Now we can verify this for both cases. Now this should be power mode, this should be power mode. Now we can simulate, yes, this is coming, this type of current is coming. Now we can put this case 2, S1 is powered and S2 is just short. Okay, so we can simulate, yes, we can get this power. And now case 3, this should be short and this should be power. So we can case 3, we just simulate it. Yes, now fill the data for the table. Okay, fill the data in this table. You can find this type of data. Now we can verify it.
Across this short transmission line, and if I will considering this side will be your sending end and this will be my receiving end. So if I will consider
Okay.
this side is my sending end, this side is my sending end, and this side we are considering receiving end.
Now we have to verify it.
So this BS is my
Look, first current it is coming, first branch, it is E1 branch, means here at the 200 ohm. It is 0.35484. So it should be coming as the summation of when V1 is working and V2 is working. So it is 0.51613 for the only V1, and here is only minus 0.16129. So we have to calculate. Look, this is 0.51613 minus, that is 0.16129. So it is coming 0.35484. So it is coming 0.35484. Yes, it is okay. It is correct, because when one individual source are acting, then summation of this current is the simultaneously working V1 and V2, the current is equal. This is showing this result. Now we are testify this for this I2. Look, I2 should coming for when V1 is working only, then it is minus. So we are going for minus. This is minus 0.32285. 322
Assumption is we have to
8
neglect,
sorry 322
we have to neglect
minus
the shortcut.
0.32258, and this is plus plus
We have to neglect
0.22581.
so then no point condition.
Look, this is coming minus 0.9677.
When the fault will be
So it is coming 0.9677. Another digit is 4, but it is not showing over here.
what is it
So up to this, it is verified.
for the case
Now we are going for the I3.
under no fault condition.
Look, I3 is
Under
cancel. I3 is coming. I3 both is coming 0.25806, and it is coming 19355
during the operation
064516. So summation of these two, this I3 and this I3, so that it will come here I3. So it is coming 0.19355
into the device under no particular
plus 0.064516.
yes, is equal to 0. Okay.
Summation is coming. It is, yes, this is coming 25806. Here it is also coming 0.25806.
The figure sum of the current has to be
Okay,
verified
so
in
in this way you can verify this. And guys, superposition theorem is applicable for both changing of this voltage source as well as the resistance also. So we have to find it out for changing the resistance also. We can verify it. Then you have to perform in your own hand. Up to this, I am performing this.
some fault that will be appear across the
Okay, guys, have you any question? Then you may ask me. If you have any question, you may ask me.
under faulty condition. Under
And
faulty
after
condition,
the completion of this session, please join again for the second period. Okay, then you have to perform it.
that means in the segment of
Then I will ask you to show
in the
each
segment
of
AB, that is
you.
in this particular section, that means in this particular section. Okay, under
I think you
faulty
can
condition,
understand how to perform this experiment.
IS plus IR plus that is equals to my IF. Okay, so there must have some faulty current that will be appeared due to under faulty condition, because from the sending end current and the receiving end current, and due to the fault, a fault current that will happen. So sum of this particular current that should be equal to
Guys, have you any question? Then you may ask me. I will explain over here up to this. Then I will go for the next step.
okay, whether there we must have two cases. This is case one, and this is case two. In case one, under no fault condition, so they are not having that kind of fault current. So the sum of the current IS and IR that should be zero. Okay, but in the case two, under faulty condition, intersection of
Within few seconds, I stop sharing and please rejoin it. because this meeting will be over. Then I will perform the resistance, changing the resistance also, and then your turn to perform it. Okay, and you have to show one by one, otherwise lab will not be completed.
0. But under what condition? The differential current value
Okay, guys, please join for the next session.
non-zero.